Hi, do you ever wonder if you're with the right person or if you're single, if you're going to find the right person? Well, I'm Guy Ardito, relationship specialist, master coach, and author, and I'm here to answer that question for you today. It really goes through everyone's mind, and the reality is that if you have enough miles on you, if you've been around as long as I have, then you'll learn a few things. And one of them is that, really, with very few exceptions, nobody is going to be the perfect match in the way that most of us think of a perfect match over the course of our lifetimes. Lots of things happen. We naturally change over time in response to events, and our personalities also can change in response to stressors in our lives, financial difficulties, children, ailing parents, just to name three very big ones. And the person that you are and the person that you're meeting when you're both maybe doing well and single and don't have a whole lot of issues could very well turn out to be very different a few years down the line. So you can never really know. So what do you rely on? Well, a few things are going to be your markers. Number one, are there some things that you respect about the other person? Maybe it's their sense of humor or their intelligence or their commitment to helping others. It could be anything. But are there things that you respect about them? They really respect. And number two, are some of the top values that you have the same as some of the top values that they have? Again, the list doesn't have to be identical, but out of the top 3 or 5 values that you each have, you want at least like 2 or 3 of those to overlap. So for example, if you each share a value of family or charity or discipline, just to give like 3 off the top of head examples, there are any number of values that we can have, right? Well, the other person really has to have some overlap there, because when you have different values, then as much as you might enjoy time together, you're going to get pulled in opposite directions over time, because you're going to be going in different vectors, the vector according to where your values are leading you. So long as you have compatible values, similar values at the top, then you're going to be already heading in more or less similar directions. And from there, it's a question of, can you get along? Do you enjoy each other? Do you respect each other? And finally, number 3, what are you bringing to the relationship? Are you bringing to the relationship an expectation of being taken care of being entertained, of being loved, and that just is going to be easy? Or are you bringing with it an expectation of growing together, learning together, and creating a love? Notice I didn't say falling in love, but creating a love. Look, I had an experience many times in the past of kind of falling in love, right? But none of those relationships where I had the greatest intensity at the beginning ever worked out, because those intense feelings weren't really related to what matters for a long-term lasting love. And everything I've talked about the last couple of minutes are what goes into a long-term lasting love, right? So what are those? Again, there are some shared values, some things you respect, and an expectation that you're going to be creating a love together. If you're missing those, then it's going to be kind of a crapshoot what goes on with your relationship, right? You might be having a great time together right now. You can get married, but if you have children guaranteed cause stressors, and you might find yourself in a very difficult situation. A lot of my clients who come to me, that's exactly where they're coming from. Financial pressures, somebody starts a business, or they lose their job, or anything like that happens. Again, that causes a lot of stressors. That causes our personalities oftentimes to shift, and suddenly we find our relationships in trouble in ways that previously we really couldn't have imagined. The other big one is an ailing parent. Your parents get older, trip and fall, or maybe they come down with a cancer or something like that. And especially, it's hard enough when you're nearby, but especially if you live far away, it creates all kinds of other complications in terms of care and guilt. And it's not time for me to get into that right now. Frankly, it's not appropriate in the context of this video. Because again, my video today is to help you understand whether you're with the right person or whether you'll ever find the right person. So the short answer is that if you are in a relationship, and especially if you're married, and if there are things that you ever did love, ever did respect, then the answer is yes, you're in the right relationship. Unless they are abusing you, then you got to find ways to stick it out. And again, I can help you with other videos I have here, as well as my online programs and my coaching. If you are wondering whether or not you're going to find the right person, well, I ask you to take that consideration out of your mind, because it's probably setting yourself up for a filter that's going to be very hard for somebody else to fill. You want to think about, is this somebody that I can create a love with? That doesn't mean anybody is appropriate, right? But what can you make with them? What can you bring to the relationship? What can you respect? What can you share? What can you grow? So that's my advice for today. Hope you found it useful. Again, you can go to guyardito.com for any of my online courses or to find out more about coaching. I would love to work with you. So hope you're having a great day. Remember, life is an adventure. Live in love.